The champagne glass didn't shatter when I dropped it, but the sound might as well have been my heart breaking. There, in the middle of our engagement party, my sister Veronica had her lips locked with my fiancé Daniel, her hands tangled in his hair, while 200 guests watched in stunned silence. "He never loved you," she announced breathlessly as they finally broke apart, her green eyes glittering with triumph. "We've been together for months. He was just too afraid to tell you." The ballroom at the Ritz-Carlton, decorated with white roses and twinkling lights for what should have been the happiest night of my life, suddenly felt like a stage for my humiliation. But as I looked at them, my sister in her deliberately chosen white dress, my fiancé with lipstick smeared across his guilty face, something strange happened. I smiled. My name is Harper, and I'm 28 years old. To understand why I smiled at the worst moment of my life, you need to know about Veronica and me. We weren't just sisters, we were opposites in every way. I was the responsible one who worked 70-hour weeks building my financial consulting firm from nothing. Veronica was the beautiful one who floated through life expecting everything to be handed to her. Our parents, who passed away 5 years ago in a car accident, had always indulged her while pushing me to be independent. "Harper can take care of herself," Mom used to say. But Veronica needs extra help. That extra help included paying for her apartment, her car, her credit cards, and funding whatever fleeting career passion struck her fancy. Photographer 1 month, jewelry designer the next, life coach after that. After our parents died, I inherited that responsibility along with their estate. But I also inherited something else, a letter from my father that changed everything. Daniel came into my life 2 years ago. He was handsome, charming, and seemed genuinely interested in my work. As the heir to a luxury hotel chain, he understood the pressure of building something meaningful. Or so I thought. Veronica had been living in Los Angeles at the time, pursuing acting, which meant taking selfies by the pool and dating wannabe producers. She moved back to New York 6 months ago, claiming she missed family. I was touched, thinking maybe she was finally growing up. I should have known better. The signs were there, looking back. Daniel's sudden business trips that coincided with Veronica's spa weekends. The way she knew exactly how he liked his coffee when she'd supposedly barely spent time with him. How he'd tense up whenever she walked into a room, which I'd mistaken for discomfort with her flirtatious nature. "You're imagining things," he'd say whenever I questioned the strange energy between them. "She's your sister. I'm just trying to be friendly for your sake." But now, standing in front of everyone we knew, they were done pretending. "Harper," Daniel started, trying to look remorseful but failing to hide his relief. "I'm sorry it happened this way. But Veronica and we just connected. You're wonderful, but you're always working. You never have time for fun, for life. Veronica understands what I need." "What you need?" I repeated, my voice surprisingly steady. "Someone who prioritizes love over spreadsheets," Veronica added, linking her arm through his. "Someone who knows how to enjoy the finer things instead of just paying for them." The crowd was murmuring now, some people already pulling out phones to capture the drama. I saw my best friend Maya pushing through the crowd, fury written across her face, but I held up a hand to stop her. "You're right," I said, loud enough for everyone to hear. "You two do deserve each other. In fact, this saves me from making a terrible mistake." Veronica's smile wavered slightly at my calm response. She'd expected tears, begging, a scene that would make her the victor and me the pathetic loser. "So please," I continued, raising my half-empty champagne glass. "Everyone, join me in toasting the happy couple. To Daniel and Veronica, may you enjoy the penthouse, the cars, and the yacht. Because they're all mine." The color drained from Daniel's face. "What are you talking about?" "Oh, didn't Veronica tell you?" I asked innocently. "She doesn't actually own anything. Not the Manhattan penthouse she's been living in, not the Mercedes she drives, not even the designer clothes on her back. They're all mine. Part of the estate I inherited and the success I built." "That's not true," Veronica snapped. "Mom and Dad left everything to both of us." "No," I said, pulling out my phone. "They left everything to me, with the expectation that I would take care of you, which I have been generously. But that ends tonight." I turned to address the room, many of whom were business associates and potential clients. I apologize for the disruption to what was supposed to be a celebration. But perhaps this is fitting, a moment of clarity and new beginnings. The open bar will remain available for the next hour. Please enjoy yourselves. As I walked toward the exit, Veronica grabbed my arm. "You can't do this. I'm your sister. You were my sister, I corrected, removing her hand. Now you're just the woman who betrayed me. Daniel, I'll have my lawyer contact yours about dissolving our business partnerships. Oh, and the hotel project in Miami? I'm pulling my funding. Good luck explaining that to your father. His face went from pale to ashen. Harper, wait. Let's talk about this. The business has nothing to do with you sleeping with my sister? I finished. You're right. It doesn't. But trust does, and you've broken that. I don't do business with people I can't trust. Maya met me at the door with my coat and purse, whispering, "Your apartment is ready." I called the locksmith like you asked. I nodded, grateful for my best friend's efficiency. You see, I hadn't been completely blind. For the past month, I'd had my suspicions. The letter my father left me included more than just inheritance details. It contained warnings about Veronica's nature and advice to protect myself. I'd hoped I'd never need it. But hope doesn't run a successful business. Preparation does. Over the next week, I executed the plan I'd hoped never to use. The penthouse Veronica lived in? I'd legally evicted her, giving her the minimum 30 days notice. The car was reported stolen since she'd never bothered to transfer the registration I'd offered her. Her credit cards, all linked to my accounts, were canceled. But the real shock came when she tried to access her trust fund. What do you mean it's empty? I heard her screaming through the phone when she called me from the bank. That's my money. No, I explained patiently. That was a discretionary fund our parents left under my control to distribute as I saw fit for your care. I've been depositing money monthly for 5 years. But the fund itself? That was always under my sole discretion. You can't do this. I'll sue. With what lawyer? I asked. The one I've been paying for? And on what grounds? That you're entitled to money that was never legally yours. The silence on the other end was deafening. Harper, please. Her voice became small, desperate. I'm sorry. I love him, I couldn't help it. But you're my sister. You can't leave me with nothing. I'm not leaving you with nothing, I said. You have Daniel, the man you couldn't help falling for. The one who understands what you need. I'm sure his family's fortune will keep you comfortable. That's when she started laughing, a hysterical edge to it. You think Daniel has money? His father cut him off 6 months ago for refusing to work. He's been living off the investments you helped him make. He was marrying you for your money. I know, I said simply. You what? I've known for 3 months that his father froze his trust fund. Why do you think I insisted on separate finances and made him sign a prenup? I was testing him, Veronica. Seeing if he'd tell me the truth, if he'd work to build something real together. Instead, he chose to seduce my sister and live a lie. But then why did you stay with him? Because I needed to know who I could trust. And now I do. The real aftermath began the next day. Daniel, suddenly facing financial ruin without my backing or his father's support, tried desperately to salvage our relationship. He showed up at my office with flowers, at my apartment with jewelry, even hired a flash mob to perform our song outside my building. It was a mistake, he pleaded during one particularly pathetic ambush at my favorite restaurant. Veronica means nothing to me. You're the one I want to build a future with. No, I corrected. My money is what you want to build a future with. There's a difference. Veronica, meanwhile, discovered that being beautiful and charming doesn't pay rent. Within a week of moving in with Daniel, they were fighting constantly. She called me crying one night, begging for forgiveness. He's different now, she sobbed. He's angry all the time, blames me for losing you. Harper, I'm scared. For a moment, my resolve wavered. Then I remembered her smirk as she kissed him at our engagement party. You're a survivor, Veronica. You'll figure it out. Maybe try getting a job. But I don't know how to do anything. Then learn. I did. The hotel project in Miami that I'd withdrawn funding from? I partnered with Daniel's competitor instead, creating a luxury resort that would directly challenge his family's chain. His father, furious about the broken engagement and lost investment, formally disowned him. Within 3 months, Daniel and Veronica's relationship imploded spectacularly. She caught him trying to seduce another wealthy woman at a charity gala. He accused her of ruining his life. They broke up via competing Instagram posts that provided entertainment for our entire social circle. But the real victory came 6 months later. I was reviewing contracts for my newest acquisition when Maya knocked on my office door. You have a visitor. Says she's your sister? I looked up to see Veronica standing in the doorway. But this wasn't the Veronica I knew. Gone were the designer clothes and perfect makeup. She wore simple jeans and a retail uniform shirt, her hair pulled back in a practical ponytail. "Can I come in?" she asked hesitantly. I nodded, curious despite myself. "I got a job," she said, sitting across from me. "At Nordstrom. I'm in the shoe department. It's actually kind of fun. I'm good at it." "Congratulations," I said, meaning it. "I'm not here to ask for money," she added quickly. "I'm here to apologize. And to thank you." "Thank me? For cutting me off. For forcing me to grow up." She took a deep breath. "I've been in therapy. Paid for it myself. The therapist helped me understand that I've been jealous of you my whole life. Not of your money or success, but of your strength. Your ability to stand on your own. So I tried to take the one thing I thought made you vulnerable, Daniel. And how did that work out?" She laughed, a genuine sound without bitterness. "Terribly. He was awful. Controlling, manipulative, constantly comparing me to you. I realized I didn't steal him from you. You let me have him. You knew exactly who he was. I had my suspicions. You saved us both from him," she continued. "And you taught me something important. That I could be more than just the pretty sister waiting for handouts." We sat in silence for a moment before she stood to leave. "Harper, I know I don't deserve it, but maybe someday, could we try being sisters again? Real sisters this time." I studied her face, seeing something I'd never seen before: humility. Growth. Potential. "Maybe," I said. "Let's start with coffee sometime and see how it goes." She smiled, a genuine smile without agenda, and left. As I watched her go, I thought about that engagement party. How Veronica had announced to 200 guests that she was taking my future. She was wrong. She didn't take my future, she revealed it. A future without a gold-digging fiancé, without the burden of enabling my sister's dependence, without toxic relationships disguised as love. The penthouse, the cars, the yacht, yes, they're all mine. But more importantly, so is my life. My choices. My success. My future. And it's brighter than ever. Looking back, I should thank Veronica for that kiss. It was the push I needed to stop accepting less than I deserved, both in love and in family. Sometimes the greatest betrayals lead to the greatest freedoms. As for Daniel, last I heard, he was working as a junior manager at one of his father's hotels, trying to prove himself worthy of being let back into the family business. Karma has a funny way of teaching lessons to those who think they can lie their way to success. My company has doubled in size since that night. I've launched a foundation helping young women gain financial literacy and independence. And I've learned that the best revenge isn't destroying those who wrong you. It's building a life so amazing that their betrayal becomes nothing more than a footnote in your success story. Though I must admit, watching them implode while I soared, that was just the champagne on top.